My Analytics in Office 365 is there to help you improve your productivity. Now, I'm not saying this is going to cut down your meeting hours, but it's a very good measurement, and it's a great thing to look at to see how much you're actually spending on meeting hours and how much of that is focused, of course. You'll see it tells you, so there's some good details there. It tells you what it is that they look at. So meeting hours, email hours, focus hours, and after hours, work hours, and also how they actually calculate those if you're not sure. So let's take a look at the different stats out there. If I look at your time here at the bottom, it says I had so many meeting hours this week, and so many email hours, so many focus hours, and so many after hours. And then you can set goals for each of them as well. Interesting to know, and I don't think so, is if I look at meeting hours, I do not think that this calculates in days where you book yourself out to a client. It's only when you're actually invited or if you invite other people on meetings. So that would be an interesting thing to take a look at. Let's take a look at the rest of the stats. So here you'll see I read 25 after-hour emails within 30 minutes of receiving them last week. I'm such an overachiever. That's 28% of emails read after hours. You can also scroll through your insights. So let's take a look. Your email hours increased from 5.1 to 8.1. So that's obviously reading emails and sending emails. Then during work hours, you read 65 emails within 30 minutes of receiving them last week. That's 56% of emails read during work hours. Impressive. And then at the bottom there, you'll see my time investments. And these are the people that I spent most of my time with. You can hover over them as well to see how much meeting time there was, how much time you spent reading the emails, etc., or that you had one-on-one meetings with them, and also who the most important people are that you interact with. This next section looks at meetings. So this says 2.5 hours you scheduled, 8 hours other scheduled. So that confirms it. It's not just when I schedule the day out. So that's obviously when people are invited on them. And then also whether it was long meetings or recurring meetings, after hour meetings, and multitasking in meetings. That's upsetting. Oh, that's upsetting. So 6 hours I was multitasking in meetings. Let's just say that I take notes in OneNote, and I'm sure that that's what they consider as multitasking, because I would never do that. I would never work on other stuff while I'm in meetings. Then my email hours, this is time spent writing emails, time spent reading emails. Also shows you how many was read, how many was sent during business hours and outside of business hours. This is quite important for me as I'm desperately trying to get some work-life balance to work less after hours. But I do see that it's obviously not monitoring my time in WordPress or in YouTube. So let's just take it from there. Here we look at focus hours. So focus hours is calculated at 2 hours without meetings counts as focus hours. I take it that's the time that I sleep at night, I reckon. So that's your focus hours. And then at the bottom there, we've got after hours. So that's, you had 7 days this week with after hours activities. I can promise you it's definitely more than that. But remember, they're only tracking the actual sending and receiving or reading of emails, as well as meetings that are scheduled. So that doesn't really check the time spent working on your PC. So some interesting stats there, I'd say, is it's good for me to kind of see how much time is spent during work hours and after work hours looking at emails and how fast I actually respond, where both of them was within 30 minutes. So I don't think I'm doing too bad there, but I could do some extra work there. So just remember as well that my analytics is included with the E5 subscription, but you can buy it separately at $4 a month per user if you want to take it as a standalone plan. So let's see if you can use that to kind of track and measure what your productivity really is like. Chat soon.